Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video, I am talking about self-care as a new mom. And this video I thought in correlation to my Instagram, I recently have shared my self-care goals for 2023 on Instagram. And so if you're interested in looking at that, you can look at my highlight self-care on my Instagram, which my handle is at Kylie Norlander. And yeah, so I kind of just thought I wanted to go further into that and make a YouTube video as well about self-care as a new mom. For anyone who's in that stage of life and needs maybe a little extra help or ideas or support or even motivation or encouragement to allow themselves to have that self-care time. So first of all, I wanted to share why you need self-care. Little Eliza, her dad picked her outfit out today and she likes to sit and chew on this part of the shirt. But anyways, so I wanted to first talk about why you need the self-care, because I think it's important to address the why before you dive into what you can do for self-care. But then after I talk about why, I am going to talk about things you can do, self-care ideas, things that I do, and kind of my self-care routine or what it looks like for me to help myself. So first of all, why you need it. It is so important to learn to put on your oxygen mask first, right? Like they talk about whenever you fly a plane, they say you put yours on first before you help your child. And there's a reason for that. You have to be able to help your child, and if you do not have the oxygen to breathe, you will have a harder time helping your child. And so it's important to take care of yourself first so that your child can be better helped. And that is the same with life. It's the same with every day. If you are not well rested, you're gonna have a much harder time being able to focus on your child and be attentive to her needs and care for her. If you are stressed, or if you are depressed, if you are struggling in any way mentally or physically, you will struggle to be able to care for your child. Even if you're hungry, that's not good, because then if you're breastfeeding, you need to be able to be nourished. You need to continue to nourish yourself and make sure that you're eating well and that you are doing well health-wise so that you can be able to take care of your child and so that your milk can be good and healthy for your child. And even if you're not breastfeeding, it's just still important to take care of yourself and eat, because if you don't eat, you'll be weak. And if you're weak, you won't be able to care for your child. So anyways, it's so important to remember that you can and should take care of yourself, that you should make time for yourself. You should make time to serve yourself, to do things that are relaxing for you, that help you function in the day, just things that really help you out. And it's important to remember that you're not a bad person for doing those things, that you're not a bad person for taking time for yourself, that you're actually a good mom for taking time for yourself, and that your baby is just fine not being taken care of by you for a few minutes. If you have a friend come and take care of your baby so you can have some self-care time, or your husband or a family member, whoever it is that wants to come take care of your baby, or if your baby's down for a nap, or if your baby's just sitting there playing by themselves, it's not bad. It's okay. And you need that time in order to be able to take care of your baby when your baby needs you. So just remember, it's important to take care of yourself. It's important to give yourself this time, and it's a good thing. You're not a bad mom for doing it. In fact, I would say you are a good mom for doing it, because you know that it's important in order to take care of your child. I'm going to tell you guys my personal experience with it, what I've been doing, and then I'll give you some more ideas on top of that of what you can do to help yourself with self-care. For me, I have self-care within each day, where it's important to me to take time to study my scriptures. And for me, that is self-care time because it's time that I'm spending with the Lord. And so it's time that I'm strengthening myself spiritually. And it really does help me mentally and emotionally as well. So some self-care time for me is my daily scripture study. And how I find time to do that, I typically do it while I eat breakfast or when Eliza first wakes up. And she just likes to be cuddled or held sometimes. And sometimes I'll just sit and hold her like this while I do it. And she's chill to just hang out. Sometimes I'll put her in her swing and I'll sit by her and do it. It just depends, but I find the time in the morning to do it. And then another thing of self-care is I take time to do my skincare. I take time in the morning and the evening to wash my face. It's not hard to do. You can set your baby down on the bed or on the floor next to you even for 2 seconds while you wash your face, and it's not bad. Your baby typically should be just fine. Sometimes they might get a little fussy, but it's 2 seconds and you can pick her right back up afterwards. Or if she's way too fussy, maybe you need to figure out what's wrong. Maybe she's tired or hungry, you need to help her, and then you can help yourself. But make the time for yourself to do it. Another thing I do within my day is I make sure to eat my 3 meals. I make sure to eat breakfast, eat lunch, and eat dinner. This is so important because if I don't eat, I get so sick and weak, especially because I'm breastfeeding, and so I am burning a lot more calories. I'm losing a lot of energy, and so if I don't eat, I don't feel good, and so I really need to eat. And so I make sure to make time to eat. And I just go in the kitchen. Like I said, sometimes I'll set Eliza in her swing or in her bouncer or even on the floor. Like I'll just lay her down somewhere. She's okay. She'll hang out. If she fusses, I'll check on her. But I lay her down and I make myself some food really fast and I eat it. And sometimes I'll hold her while I eat it. Sometimes I'll be able to eat it without holding her. Sometimes my husband or sister can take her while I eat. But it really it's important to feed yourself. And then another thing I do is in the evening, so my whole night routine honestly feels like self-care for me. First of all, I do her night routine, right? Where I get her to bed and relax, and when I get her down to sleep, then my night routine starts where I first take time to tidy up my home. And this is a big one for me. It feels so good to have a clean home. And I talked about this in a recent video about things that helped me postpartum. But this is something I do for self-care because it helps me mentally so much. And so I just take time to quickly just pick up my house, put away the things that got out during the day for Eliza or for me or Sam, and just kind of catch up on dishes and just take care of the house a little bit. Nothing major, but just a little cleanup so the house feels nice and clean for the next day. And then after that, I go do my night skincare and my night routine of washing my hair and my face washing my face and brushing my teeth and just kind of that little night routine. And it works out great. And then after that, I take some precious time to sit, and I typically will mark off my list of to-dos for that day, and then I will write my list of to-dos for the next day, and then I will sit and read, or maybe I'll sit and scroll on Instagram or on Pinterest, but I'll just kind of sit and do something personal. I like to read in the evenings a lot, and so that's kind of typically what I'll do. And I'll sit and I'll drink my tea or my cocoa because it's that cold, chilly weather, which I love. It's just a good time for me, and it feels so good emotionally and spiritually, mentally, all those things. It feels so good. And I honestly can get my night routine done within like an hour of her going to bed. I really can. Sometimes it goes longer. Sometimes I'm up 2 hours past her, but I try to get to bed as early as I can after her because I know the more sleep I get at night, the better I do during the day. But that's kind of what my routine looks like. That's what it feels like, looks like, that's how it is. And it's pretty great, pretty helpful. Some things that I thought of for self-care ideas that I like to do that I consider self-care for myself are some things like going to the gym or doing yoga session, doing a face mask or a bubble bath or both, taking a nap, that's a huge one, reading a book, watching a show and eating a treat, even scrolling through TikTok or Pinterest or Instagram, whatever you like. Or I also like aesthetic fun, so fun things that are aesthetically fun for you, whether that's feeling all aesthetically fun by taking a little walk in the fall weather with your cup of cocoa or coffee, or whether it's summertime and you like to sunbathe out in the sun with reading a book. But I put kind of like aesthetic fun, but it could also be seasonal fun. It's kind of just what I think of for myself. Other things are exercise class, going for a hike, going through your clothes. That's one for me that I really love to do. That's kind of a self-care, like it just feels good for me to go through my clothes. Baking a treat, painting your nails, going and sunbathing, going out with a friend, planning a trip. I love to sit and plan trips on Pinterest, and I don't know why, but that's just a way fun thing for me. Or planning my future home, or planning stuff, or just honestly, I don't know, coming up with ideas for things. Like lately, what my thing is, since Sam's birthday is in a month, is planning his birthday. That's been kind of the thing I've been doing lately, which has been so fun. And so that's another thing that's just self-care. But that's the thing, is self-care doesn't have to be super thought out of what you're gonna do. That's the great thing of it, is it can literally just be anything that you do that feels good, that brings you joy, or that makes you feel relaxed. So if doing the dishes really helps you relax, then go do the dishes. If you just want to sit and watch a show and eat some cookies, sit and watch a show and eat some cookies. If you want to feel grounded with some yoga, do yoga. If you want to move your body and go for a run, go for a run. If you're wanting some fun girly time, paint your nails, do your face mask, do a bubble bath, whatever it is. If you need a break, but you want to socialize, go out with a friend, and that friend can hold your baby while you two sit and talk, or do something fun together, right? There's so many different things you can do for self-care. And it can be 5 minutes, it can be 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, it can be whatever you need or want. And that's the other beautiful thing of it, is you can literally just say, okay, my baby's down for a nap, I need 5 minutes to just chill before I do anything. Or maybe I'm gonna go for a nap myself. Or maybe, okay, my husband's done with work, he's had a little bit of time at home from work, I'm just gonna give my baby to him for 5 minutes so that I can just read or relax for just 5 minutes. It's really all it takes sometimes. It's just a quick recharge and you're back up and doing good. And so that's just kind of what I wanted to add, to say to you guys, so you knew. Oh, she's getting sleepy. But that's just the beauty of everything with self-care, is it's so simple and it really doesn't take a lot of time, thought out, effort, or anything. It can just be as simple and as easy as you want, and it's supposed to be something you enjoy, whatever you want. It shouldn't be something you feel like you're forcing yourself to do. It should be something you feel like you're finally giving yourself the time to do as well. And so, yeah, take the time, do the self-care, enjoy it, you need it, you deserve it. And here's the thing too, if you're not a mom, that doesn't mean you don't deserve the self-care too. I'm talking about it like this now because that's my stage of life, and I like to focus on my stage of life, what I'm in, because that's really what, you know, I can talk about best. But it doesn't matter if you're a mom or not. It doesn't really matter what phase of life you're in. Everyone deserves and needs self-care. Everyone needs to take that time for themselves. Obviously, if you don't have a baby you're caring for, it might be a little easier, and that's why I focus more on things as a mom. But it might be easier to take that time, but just do it. No matter where you're at in life, no matter what's going on, you deserve daily self-care, and you deserve to feel good, to be happy, and to make time for yourself. So do it. That's all I have to say, is do it. I've given you ideas. I told you what my self-care looks like within each day. Whoop, yeah. Anyways, and obviously on top of that, on top of the things that I've told you that I do want to be real and let you know that not every day I find that time to tidy up my home as part of my self-care. not every day I get my good scripture study in. Sometimes my scripture study really is just reading through a little bit of scripture, or come follow me while I'm feeding Eliza. Sometimes I don't get my face washed in the morning, and sometimes I don't really get time to read a book at night. Sometimes I really just, when I get her down, I just have to go to sleep myself because I don't feel good and I need to. And honestly, that's self-care right there. Listening to my body and just doing what I can when I can is a huge form of self-care and love. And so remember that making an effort to do a little bit for yourself, whether that's picking up your home in the evening before you go to bed, or choosing not to and just going straight to bed because you know that's what you need, whatever it is, just remember that the simple act of listening to your body and your mind and doing what you feel you need right now and what you feel is best for yourself right now, that's what's most important. It doesn't need to be a checklist of perfect self-care that you do every day. It doesn't need to be thought out effort of something you figure out to do. It needs to be what you need in the moment. And whatever that is what you should do. And so listen to your body, listen to your mind, and what you need right now. And that's what your self-care should be today. Yesterday was like that for me. Yesterday I was not feeling good. I had such a bad head cold that I had to take a lot of just breaks, and I didn't get all the stuff done I wanted to. And my self-care in the evening did not look like cleaning up the house. It did look like going to bed early and just sleeping as much as I could because that's what I needed. And it felt good, and I'm so happy with myself that I did that. And so that's all I have to say. Listen to your body. You deserve self-care. Take the time because you need it, and your baby will benefit so much more off of having a mom who's healthy, who's happy, who feels good, who feels taken care of and well rested and like they can handle the day. I'm not a mom who feels stressed, overwhelmed, overtired, super hungry, and frustrated and sick. So listen to your body, give yourself time for self-care, and remember that you deserve it, and to not feel bad about taking that time for you, because it's so good for you and your baby and your husband, your whole family. It's good for everybody. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video helps you, and I hope you are making sure to take time for yourself every day and focusing on you as well as your family. Thank you for watching. Bye!